Hello dear children, this is Grandma Shirin and today we are going to learn Joseph's story as a Prime Minister. You remember last time how the king put him the crown, the necklace, the ring and royal robe? Yes, and when he became a Prime Minister, he engaged in learning. He was learning economics, he was learning the language, he was learning the culture and about all the crops, and farming. He was learning and he ordered that the storerooms should be made bigger and bigger and bigger because God is going to bless us abundantly for how many years? 7 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 years we are going to have abundance. And so we have to store lots of grains. You know what is grains? Yeah, see? Wheat. Lots of wheat. And also rice. Yeah, and he ordered that we should put it in the government stores so that after the good harvest was going to be the 7 years of drought. Drought means no rain, and when it doesn't rain, there is no water for the fields and there will be no crops. No more grains and people are going to get hungry. So he said, let's store for the bad time. When there will be bad time, our people will still have plenty of food. So he said, all the farmers, all the businessmen should pay tax to the government if they are having 5 cans of grains in their house. They should give 1 to the storeroom for the government as a tax. So everybody was giving 1/5 of their income as a tax. All the grains were deposited in the store. In the beginning, they were happy because there was plenty of crops overflowing. So they had no problem. But when the 7 years of good crops finished, then the drought started and there was no rain. The first year, no rain. But people, they knew that Joseph has collected lots of grain in the government storehouse. So if people said, we need some more grains, and King Pharaoh said, go to Joseph, and they would bring money to Joseph. See, if they had more money, they would bring to Joseph, we want 7 sacks. You see, this is 1,000. And they said, okay, I give you 1,000, Joseph, and give me 10 sacks of wheat. And somebody, he had lesser money, he had, okay, give me 5 sacks with 500. And if somebody had less, he said, okay, give me 1. And some had little less money, so they also used their coins. And so the governments, like bank, the treasure was getting filled with the people dropping, giving the money. Okay, 1, 2, give me more, give me more. And so the government's bank was filling. And then a time came that crops were not growing at all. After, in the 6th year, people were getting hungry and they said, give us grains. And he said, Okay? Joseph said, give me your animals. So people gave their horses, their cows, their buffaloes, their sheep and goat in the government to buy food, to buy the grains. And you know, Joseph had made lots of big stores where all the plenty of wheat, and people spent their animals also. And in the end, the animals also became less because they have less food to graze on, and they were sold to the Pharaoh. And they still went for grains, and he said, okay, now you can give me your lands. So people sold their homes and they brought the money to buy grains. And now the famine, the drought, it has spread even up to Canaan, where Joseph's brothers were living. You remember, there were 12 brothers. So 11 brothers and daddy were in Canaan. So the daddy, who was daddy? Jacob. Daddy said, you boys, we are getting hungry, we are dying hungry. You go to Egypt. I heard there is plenty of food in Egypt. So they said, oh, should we go to Egypt? And daddy said, yes, go to Egypt and bring grain for us. Bring wheat, bring rice for us. And also some dal to cook. See, lentils, bring rice for us. And also some dal to cook. See, lentils, he said, bring that. I heard there is plenty in Egypt. So they went obeying their daddy. And in the way they were thinking, oh my, what if we meet Joseph in Egypt? Remember, we had sold him in the hands of Ishmaelite to the Egyptians. And they were scared also a little, but they never thought that Joseph will be in the position. So they traveled and they came to Joseph. You see? But they did not know this is Joseph. And they bent low to him and he said, who are you? And they said, well, we are the brothers, we are son of the same father. And they said, no, I know you are spies. You have come to spy our country. They said, no, we are not bad people. We are good people and we are sons of a very good father. And Joseph was trying to pretend as if he cannot understand their language. And they were talking with each other and they said, no, we did bad to Joseph. That is why this bad luck has come to us. And he talked with them and they said, no, please, our father has sent this money to buy the crops from you. See, we have plenty of money and you want, please give us some grains. We came to buy wheat. And they said, okay, if you are saying that you are the children of a good father, okay. Then he ordered his servants, okay, give them the grains. And so they filled their sacks with the grain. Lots of wheat. You see wheat? And they had plenty of containers like this filled. And they put it in their sack for wheat. And every brother had his own sack with the wheat. Do you still remember? Wheat is grains from which we make flour and we make bread and we make cake and we make roti. And you know Joseph, he did something. He told his servant, okay, put their money back in their bags. And so they put the money in their bags. And they happily, because the king's servant had tied their sack like this. The mouth of the sack was tied, and they took their sack nicely, happily, everybody. They made 11 bags like this, and everybody was happy, and they loaded their sacks on the donkey, and they went. And when they went home, they told Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. Who was the daddy? Yes, you remember. Jacob was the daddy. He said, Daddy, we got the wheat, we got the grains. It will be enough for us. And he said, yes, praise the Lord who wants us to survive. And when they opened their bags in front of the daddy, oh, first one Reuben opened, and he said, oh my, what is this? The money is here. But we gave the king the separate money. How come it is with us? And the second one opened, and his also had what? Money. And the third one, and fourth one, and 11th one. Oh, no, 10th one, because Benjamin did not go. So they said, my, this man is going to punish us. And father said, no, don't worry. And next time when they went, he said, you take this money and take double money more. And tell them that we are not cheaters. Please give us some grains. And they went and they said, we are sorry, we found this grains inside our sack. And then they said, give us some more. He said, you said we are 12 brothers. And what happened to 2? Only 2 of you, 10 of you are here. How many went? 10 brothers went. 10. Can you count 10 on my fingers? Yeah, 10 brothers went. The youngest was Benjamin. He stayed with daddy. And what had happened to the other one? Other one was Joseph, whom they had sold to the Ishmaelites. And he said, if you are not spies, tell me where are your other brothers? He said, well, one is lost. We don't know if he's killed. And the other one is so young, he is with the daddy. He said, then I will give you grain if you bring your younger brother. And they said, oh no, daddy will not let him come. And he said, well, then you cannot get grain. Then the eldest one said, the Simon, he said, let me stay with you, king, in the prison. I will stay in the prison and you give them food. He said, okay, I will keep him here in the prison until you bring the youngest one. And so next time they brought Benjamin. And daddy was so resistant. Jacob, he said, you want to waste this boy also? I have already lost Joseph. And now something happens to this, then I will die. And they said, no, no, daddy, trust us. We will not let anything happen to him. And then, when he saw Joseph, I will tell you this next story later on. Okay? God bless you. If you want to listen to the continuation of the story, subscribe and like the story, and we will continue tomorrow. Till then, tata, bye bye, grandma loves you.